Imagine a parent, a sibling, or a friend who's waited for years, even decades, to know what happened to someone they love. When a person goes missing, the trail can go cold quickly, and the chances of finding them diminish with each year passing. But now, AI is changing that, with one particular technology leading the way: facial recognition. Welcome to AI Unboxed, where we dive into groundbreaking and often heartwarming ways AI is reshaping our world. I'm your host, Arthi, and today we're exploring the power of AI in helping to reunite families and bring missing loved ones home. So settle in as we begin our story on the AI detective and its role in finding the lost. Let's start with a quick look at the technology itself. Facial recognition is something we're all somewhat familiar with now. It's in our phones, on social media, even at airports. But what most people don't realize is that this same technology is now being used to help identify missing persons. At its core, facial recognition technology works by analyzing quick geometry of a person's face, distances between features, contours, and even subtle patterns. When an image of a missing person is uploaded to a database, AI scans millions of faces to see if it can find a match. And with the rise of public and governmental databases, facial recognition is connecting dots in cases that seemed impossible to solve. This technology is giving families a second chance to find loved ones, sometimes even decades after they vanish. Let me tell you about a recent case that made headlines, a story that captures just how powerful facial recognition technology can be. This is the story of a mother and daughter who were separated for over 20 years. It all began when a young woman in Eastern Europe went missing. She was in her 20s, had been struggling with a few personal challenges, and one day she simply disappeared. Her family searched for her tirelessly, but as years passed with no word, hope faded. Years later, in a different country, thousands of miles away, a facial detection scan flagged a match. The woman, who had been living under a different name, had struggled to remember her own identity due to memory loss and trauma. Her face, however, was still recognizable. The AI made the connection, and after 2 decades of separation, a mother and daughter were reunited. What makes this story remarkable is that no human would have recognized her after so many years, maybe not even her own mother. It was the AI's ability to pick out facial details that solved this mystery, giving a family a reunion they had thought impossible. Now, imagine a child going missing. If years go by, the child's appearance will change drastically. You can check one of your childhood pictures. It is nearly impossible for anyone to recognize them. But here's where AI has become almost miraculous. It can actually predict what a child might look like as they grow older, even if there are no recent photos. You must have seen reels on Instagram where there are AI tools that lets you visualize how your future kid might look like. You upload yours and your husband slash boyfriend's picture, and it tells you exactly how your child would look like. Using algorithms that analyze how human features change with age, AI can construct an image of what a person might look like 5, 10, or even 20 years later. This aging AI takes into account family traits, growth patterns, and even environmental factors. In fact, it was a tool like this that helped identify a girl who had been missing for over 15 years. She was found living with a new family in a different country, entirely unaware of her origins. Through a predictive aging program, AI was able to generate a current likeness, and that image was then compared to photos in the missing persons database. The result? A perfect match, and another child was brought home to her family. Facial recognition isn't just helping in everyday cases, it's transforming some of the largest missing persons cases in history. These cases, where facial recognition has been used to scan huge crowds at public events, compares faces in real time to images in missing persons databases. One such case involved a young man who went missing from his family in a crowded city. His parents had searched everywhere with no success. But one day, AI driven facial recognition systems were monitoring faces at a large public event. And there, in a sea of thousands, the system picked out one face, an exact match. Imagine the parents' shock when, after years of searching, they received a call telling them their son had been found. And not by someone spotting him, but by an algorithm capable of distinguishing him in a crowd of strangers. While AI's role in these stories is undeniably powerful, it also raises some big questions. Facial recognition relies on extensive databases of people's faces, many of which are pulled from social media or public records. This has sparked debates about privacy as people wonder how their personal information is being used and if they have any control over it. In some cases, families have found their missing loved ones because AI had access to wide-reaching database. But what if your own face is in these databases without your permission? Should you have a say in how your image is used? These are the ethical questions that are becoming more pressing as facial recognition technology advances. And much as we celebrate its success, it's a tool that demands responsible use. So, what does the future hold for AI in the search for missing persons? One thing is certain: AI is giving us a new way to solve cases that previously seemed hopeless. With continued advancements, it's possible we'll see even more sophisticated predictive technology helping us to locate people faster and prevent cases from going cold in the first place. Some researchers are even looking at combining facial recognition with behavioral analysis, tracking patterns that could alert authorities when a missing person is nearby. The hope is that as we develop this technology responsibly, we can reunite more families and bring loved ones home. It's a beautiful, hopeful possibility, and it reminds us that while AI can do amazing things, the real impact is in the lives it touches. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the world of AI and missing persons cases. Today's stories are a testament to the power of technology and when it's used for good. And they remind us that sometimes the smallest spark of hope is all we need to find what we've lost. If today's episode resonated with you, don't miss out on our next episode where we'll explore how AI had found hidden clues in most unexpected places. Until then, keep questioning, keep exploring, and remember, sometimes all it takes is a second look. I'm Arthi, and this is AI Unboxed. See you next time.